Welcome to Benevolent Brand. I'm with my guy, George Villis, him and his croc gadgets. And he's here. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Stefan.
Of course. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a junior at UNE. I've been on the football team for the past 3 years. Been playing long before that, since 4th grade maybe, studying applied exercise science. I got a lot I want to do with that. I'm Greek Orthodox, big part of who I am, the faith. Been through quite a lot in my life. I was diagnosed with cancer at 20 yet. Almost had a near-death experience 4 years before that, at 16. But yeah.
We can get right into it. Why don't you just, if you don't mind, just tell us about kind of like your experience when you were diagnosed and how that was, and if you can connect it to like any other like events. You said like 4 years before.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough time. I had symptoms from July, I think, of that season. It was my sophomore year of 2023. But I had symptoms from there, physical symptoms. I didn't really feel any sickness or anything like that. Didn't feel like nauseous. It was just the physical stuff you could see. But I was stubborn, very stubborn. Was starting on the football team, and that's something I worked hard for. So I didn't want to go get that stuff checked out yet, as long as it wasn't physically stopping me from doing what I do. And then I finally got to that point. I think 8 games into the season. I cut the season a little short. Was dealing with some mental health stuff. Kind of deal with that side of things. Finally went to the doctor, get checked out. Went to the health center up here. They didn't know what it was. Went home for Thanksgiving, and that's when we were told, it was kind of 2 steps. It was told there's a possibility of it, and then it was confirmed about a week later. But that little time period, I was kind of preparing for the worst. I didn't want to get my hopes up thinking it was going to end up being nothing. But you got the news, and it's a tough time. It's pretty crushing to hear that, especially at such a young age. My parents were pretty upset. They were the one who was there with me. And then we had to go home, tell the rest of the family. Everyone was pretty sad. My older brother, my younger brother were pretty just angry. Can't even say sad. But it was just a tough time. But we got through it. It was only about 7 treatments. We were very fortunate to start early, and we caught it early. So it was only 7 rounds of chemo, and a few times I had to spend the night in the hospital, but it wasn't anything crazy. Got through that though. Like I said, it wasn't the first time coming back from something like that. When I was 2019, I hit my head. Me and my younger brother, just boys being boys. We were playing a game, ended up in the hospital. I needed 2 blood transfusions, so I think that's just something that prepares you for stuff like that, to bounce back. Both those times, football was always on my mind. I was saying I was going to be coming back to play football as soon as I could, and fortunately came back not even 6 months later. I was back on the field with the guys. But it's just got to get back up, resilience.
That not a lot of people can relate to that, that's for sure. How did anything change in terms of your approach or your perspective? Anything after you had to battle and deal with cancer and your other injury? Did anything change with like your mindset about anything?
Honestly, not really. I tried to stay as optimistic as I could. I think the mindset was just there the whole time. Definitely, you learn not to take things for granted. That's for sure. Especially you hear a lot of guys like, football's tough. It's a tough sport, preseason, spring season, but when you get it taken away from you like that, you gotta kind of learn just to always take advantage of it and enjoy it while you still have it before it's just taken away from you. It's like a lot of people choose not to play anymore, but when you don't have that choice, it definitely makes it a lot tougher. But other than that, it was just, I would like to say nothing really changed. My mindset towards life, maybe after the first time, but after the cancer, it was just, I continued that mindset, stayed optimistic.
I know you mentioned you were Orthodox, and George and I we go to a Crew, which is a Christian club at UNE, done some Bible studies together. Do you feel like any of those times like helped you grow in your faith?
100%. Yeah, I think those kind of things can either pull you away from the faith or it can bring you closer. I fortunately never had the thoughts of pulling me away. It really just did strengthen my faith. We have a lot of people praying for you, and especially that first time when it was 2019, that injury, we all considered it as a miracle. I definitely could have died, but we're at camp, which is called Camp St. Paul, and I was born on the feast day of St. Peter and Paul, so we kind of thought that was St. Paul looking over for me, so I was very thankful for that, and I really started to take my faith more seriously, I think. I always took it seriously, but after that, it definitely increased a bit. And the cancer, I was really dependent on God because I was trying to be the rock for my family, not that I was struggling. But most of the only rock I had was Christ, and I was reading my Bible every day. I found 3 Psalms that were fitting for what I was going through, and I read those every morning when I woke up to prepare for the day and treatments.
What were the 3 Psalms?
Yeah, it was Psalm 37, which is for when you're afraid, because I found this little table of contents in the Bible, and Psalm 61 and 62, I believe. Those are so it's like when you're afraid, you need courage, you need strength. I feel like that's definitely things I needed. But I think a lot of people would get pulled away from Christ and be like, why me? But I was trying to not say that. I was trying to be like, I was just thankful. Because you think, why me? But it could happen to anyone else. I'd rather it be me than my family or friends or teammates. So I think Christ definitely got me through that, and I got really close with him. And now I think living through both those experiences was a way for me to spread the word of God. So I think I've been doing that. I'm very open about it and how my prayer life has been. So I think it's definitely got me through and definitely brought me closer.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story. I definitely feel, thankfully I've never had to do anything with that health-wise, but I can understand if you're going through something like that, it can be frustrating, like, why me? But I really am inspired by your approach to that. And now you're a junior now at uni, right?
Yep.
So you're going to be going into your senior year. Any big aspirations, goals, anything upcoming for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, last time stepping on the field, we just finished up our spring practice, which was a lot of fun. But the goals, I mean, I feel like it's pretty basic stuff. Definitely want to win, want to do well as a team. I think my biggest thing is just to have no regrets. I think I've had a lot of regrets at the end of my seasons, but now this is my last chance. I won't be able to say, oh, I can always do better next season. This is it. So once I step off that field for the last time, I'm hoping to have no regrets no matter how I do. But I just want to see the team. I want to plant the seed, create a winning culture with the team, which is something we've taken steps to. I think that we're going into our 7th year, maybe, give or take a few years. So I think just planting that seed for our grade to really take the steps of creating a winning culture on the football team. I think that's really just my goals at the end of the day.
Also, if I'm going to add, I'm sure you've been a part of it, but there's a lot more football guys coming into those Bible studies. So is that something you want to continue to grow and build?
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's great. I know last year, before the season started, over the summer, I heard about a freshman coming in who wanted to do one with the team. I thought it was a great idea. We never ended up doing it in the season, but then I brought it up to them after Thanksgiving maybe, and they told me about crew. So I started doing that this semester. I know a lot of other guys have been doing it already. And then we finally got a big group to go. Tommy McGuire put in our group chat. I think we got like 10 football guys to show up that same Bible study. And we started doing some with just the football team outside of crew. And I definitely want to keep that up, especially the football one. I want that to be more prominent next year. I want to get guys going to the crew ones as well. I think it's a great thing to share that together, and it brings us closer as a team.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing your story, coming on. Thank you for listening to Benevolent Brand. You got any last-minute words of wisdom?
I mean, just live life. Have fun. Do the right things. Don't take anything for granted. And thank you for having me.
Of course.
Let me share my story.
Yes, thank you.